Let's unbox DTS's newest data logger, the TSR AIR. This is a unit that includes 2 Triaxial accelerometers, angular rate sensors, along with environmental sensors. As we go over the accessories, I'll show you how to assemble them, how to configure your unit in your new software, and how to capture and review your data. One of the things I really like about the TSR AIR is how simple and easy it is to use. Let me show you how. Hey everybody, my name is Kyvory Henderson, and today I'd like to show you our latest kit for our new data logger, the TSR AIR. Alright, let's go ahead and open this up. Alright, a lot of goodies in here. So first off, we have our power supply, and this is the power supply that you will use to both power your unit if you need to use external power, or if you need to charge up your unit. So we've got those 2 pieces there. Alright, we've got our Ethernet to USB adapter if you need that, if you don't have an Ethernet port on your PC. Okay, next we have our EOC board. So this is the main operation mode for your system. So this has your on-off switch, your start, and your event buttons. We have our system cable here. Will bring it all together. And last but not least, you have your TSR AIR and our aerospace orange. Okay, now let's put all of this together. So we'll start with our TSR AIR. This is going to go to the end of our system port. Got that. We have our end of chain kind of control board here. Let's plug in there. I'm going to go ahead and use the Ethernet to USB adapter. Plug that into my computer. And for this configuration, I don't have to use the power supply, so I'm going to leave that here, and I'm going to turn my system on. And then up next, we'll head to the computer, and I will show you guys how to set this up. Okay, so now that you've plugged in your TSR AIR, we're going to go ahead and walk through the steps to configure it in our new DataPRO 4.0 software. Also, make sure your power supply is connected to your interface device or EOC device, and make sure that if you're using an Ethernet to USB adapter, there are instructions in the manual for setting up a unique IP address for that adapter. So we're going to be past that step and assume you've already got your unit plugged in. So this is the new landing page. It's going to take you straight to test setups. I have 2 demo modes here for streaming in active. We're going to work within the active mode, but I'll show you quickly how to set up your own test setup if you needed to do that. So you would come up here to quick build. Just going to go ahead and scan all. So this is going to look for any devices that are currently connected to your PC, and come back with a couple of options. Okay, now it's pinging. Make sure there's communication. There we go. Okay, so the TSR AIR unit that I have plugged in is number 75. So now we're just going to query that unit, get a little bit more information. So good. So that brought back all of the sensors that are, they're already embedded in the unit, but at least it shows you that they're all there, functioning correctly. And then if you wanted to take this a bit further, you could build your test setup from it, or you could just go straight into running your test from this very step. So we've cut out a lot of the middle room there needed to run a test. We're not going to do that here, so we're going to hit done. We're not going to save. Done again. And so we're back to that landing page at test setups. I'm going to go within active mode. So here for active mode, I have that mode selected. I have my number of events set at 1, but you could have some number of events depending on your memory and your sampling rate here. Sampling at 10,000 samples per second. Got 0.05 seconds of pre-trigger and then 3 seconds of post-trigger. And I'm going to go ahead and leave open the option to download all of my event data. You can also click through here and select your hardware, so just double check that the correct TSR AIR unit is selected. I could look at my channels, so if I wanted to remove any of the sensors for this recording, for this test setup, I could do that here. And I can also set my level triggers. So I've got 3 level triggers set for the 3 axes of my high G accelerometer, and they're set at plus or minus 10 G. Okay, great. So now we're ready to run our test. I'm gonna click that. You could set whatever test setup name you want. I'm gonna call this test demo 1. We're gonna click through the hardware step. So again, it's just checking everything's still connected like it should be. Now it's gonna check our sensors. They all came back healthy. It's gonna run diagnostics on the TSR AIR. At this step, you have to hit run. All right, excellent. And then you can move through to the real-time step. So here you can look at the data in real time. So I'm gonna go ahead and wiggle that around a little bit. You can see a little bit of response there. And then you can click through to the other channels that are embedded within this unit. So I've got low G on the left here, high G on the right. On the next page, I have my angular rate sensors and then my environmental sensors as well. So just another checkout as you get ready to arm your device. And so with that, we're gonna click arm. I'm gonna click run test. And it's gonna get the device ready, getting the memory allocated correctly. All right, and so now we are armed. And so at this step, we will hit stop monitoring. This is gonna tell the software to stop constantly trying to ping and communicate with the unit. And you can unplug it from your whatever kit you're using and put it on your test device and go ahead and collect your data. Okay, now that we've configured your TSR AIR, you can disconnect it from the system cable. And due to its small size, you could place this within whatever your test article is. There are 4 mounting holes here, so you could bolt this unit down or double stick tape, whatever goes for you. But go ahead and test this and we'll come back and we'll look at your data. Okay, now that you've collected your data from your test device, let's go ahead and plug this back in and we can look at the data you've collected, downloaded it, and process it. Okay, so now that you've gone out, you've armed your TSR AIR, you've removed it from its cable assembly and you've installed it on your test device, and at this point hopefully you've collected data. We're going to come back and show you the final steps to download that data and then review it if you'd like to. So we're back at the monitoring step. We're going to click the start monitoring button. This is going to tell our software to, hey, go find our device. For this one I'm going to go ahead and hit disarm because I took multiple events. But yours should already say disarmed. Okay. I'm going to click download all, and that's going to download all of the events that are on this device. Okay. And now we can head to view data up top. I'm going to select my test event, which is this one. And you can see the traces lining up from the different test events. So this is, I selected the test and then you select graphs. And that shows you all the different channels that are associated with that test. And you can add them as you see fit. And there's also a little bit of processing that can be done on the right here. You can change some of your filter parameters and things like that. But thanks again for your time. Thanks for unboxing the TSR AIR with me today. As many of you know, DTS has been pushing the boundaries for data acquisition systems, data loggers, and sensors for the last 30 years. For further questions or answers about our products, please visit our website.